Welcome YouTube, it's Wrestlemania here. We're going for another wrestling news episode here, and basically what's to me, I didn't take time to read a lot of the news on the weekend. There's not a whole lot going on. I think only one major news story broke out, and well, that's what we're gonna start with our channel today with. Our episode today with. I don't have the article up, but basically, Jimmy Uso will be out of action for 6 to 9 months due to an ankle injury. To be honest, folks, this happened during WrestleMania 36 and during the ladder match, and he, guys, is going to require surgery for his knee. I believe it was an ankle and ankle injury, and where he's going to need to get knee surgery or something like that. So basically, big news: Jimmy's out. It looks like it's going to be like a year-long injury. So for the Usos right now, it might be the time for Jey Uso to break out. That might be one thing we can think of. The other is the fact, or let's just put it this way, the Usos won't be in competition for a while, I guess. Depending. Oh man, I just had lunch, guys. It was so good. But anyway. However, also in the news, which has come out recently due to injury report of Jimmy Uso, Kevin Owens has also suffered an ankle and arm injury from the bump that he took at WrestleMania 36 off the stage. Well, do you consider that a stage? I don't know. I mean, he as you guys remember, Kevin Owens jumped off the WrestleMania 36 sign at WrestleMania to pin Seth Rollins and beat Seth Rollins and to teach Seth Rollins a lesson, storyline wise. And now apparently he has taken the bump so bad, he is now going to be out of action. They don't know how long just yet, but he is going to be out of action for quite a while. Alright. So, with that being said, let's get into our wrestling news from EWN and other sources. Alright. Let's get here going. Yeah. Alright. Alright, for those of you guys who are... Let's look at this one, because that's going to be news. Alright. What else? Alright, that's something to go by. Ooh. Right there. Alright. And then right here, that's big news. Okay, we'll use that as our closer. And, more on that. Okay, we'll continue with that. And, alright. Here we go. Alright, so first and foremost, I'm going to start off with the latest on Kevin Owens' injury, too, guys. So, this is what we're going to be talking. This is what I've said earlier on right now, that Kevin Owens has been injured since WrestleMania 36. And which right here has revealed that it is his ankle that's injured. And that he's now going to need to get an x-ray. During the Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer has revealed that, or said, that Owens is expected to be only out for a couple of weeks. According to the report, Owens didn't know he was hurt at WrestleMania, but rather the next day when his ankle was swollen and it's not believed to be serious. Okay, I kind of get how long. Okay. Kevin Owens should not be out for action that long, guys. For what it is, basically, he had sprained his ankle or twisted his ankle, one of the two. Where basically, and it could have also been fractured too. When he jumped off, he must have landed on his ankle or something, guys. Because Owens has said he did not know that he was hurt at WrestleMania. which is normal. I mean, when you got the adrenaline pumping and you're working it off for the rest of the night, you don't feel the pain that much. You feel it like crank a little, but then you figure the next morning, oh, it should be fine. It should be fine. You wake up the next morning, you get out of bed, your ankle is swollen, you try and stand up and it hurts. Yeah, I could see Kevin Owens being out at least a month, guys. At least a month. Or 2 weeks, depending on how bad the ankle is. But it says here it was swollen. It's not believed to be serious. In my opinion, when someone does this and gets hurt, yeah, they usually give you a boot. Like when you sprain your ankle or twist it, or even worse, just, fracture it just a little. They put you in a little brace, which you walk around. You have to be light on your feet so that you're not applying too much pressure, because that will aggravate it more. Yeah. He's going to be walking around with that, and then the first couple days they put you on crutches, as I believe. Because I honestly, I've suffered this injury myself in judo. I actually did it twice in my entire life. The first time I was doing it playing at judo practice. Basically, what happened was we were doing jump squats. I landed on my foot the wrong way, and I rolled my ankle all the way, and I had my ass fall on top of it. So I had to go home. When I went home, I didn't feel nothing. When I got up the next morning, it was painful as shit. So I got it checked out before I went to school, and they said, oh, yeah, bruh, you're going to have to wear this brace, and maybe for the first couple days, we would put you on crutches just to keep you off of it. And I'm like, okay. So basically, they came back with my x-ray and said, oh, yeah, you have a little fracture. You just need some time off on your ankle. So keep light on your foot. These usually heal up in a matter of a month, so you should be fine. A month and a half later goes back. I'm back in the dojo, kicking some ass and working hard, and at the same time coaching. Well, I call it coaching, but it's basically being an alumni, helping out the other guys, and teaching little kids at the club how to take their bumps. Take the bump. When you're learning in judo, guys, you have to learn how to fall. So that's basically called taking a bump. Yeah, and then I busted my ankle doing in a similar way when I was playing basketball with a friend at the gym at the university, and let's put it this way: it wasn't as bad as the first time. The second time, it's not that bad. I don't know how many times Kevin Owens has experienced this, but in my opinion, he'll be back real soon. He's not going to be as out indefinitely like how Jimmy Uso is going to be, but damn. Alright. That's good news, though. It's bad news he's got hurt. Good news, it's not too bad. Alright, so next on our channel, Chris Jericho has revealed that the era of his light-up jackets, as you can see here in WWE 2K20 or 2K19, which one would that be? I think some people would look at this and say 2K19. I think it's 2K19. But he says the era of the light-up jackets is over with a smiley face. You want my honest opinion? Yeah. For one, the light-up jackets are in WWE mostly. And two, in Jericho's case, your character has evolved and you're trying to do this Bruiser Brody thing because you watch a lot of Bruiser Brody matches. I say, yeah, dude, you don't need to go with the light-up jackets anymore. Though the light-up jackets was cool as shit. Yeah, guys, in my opinion, like I said before, in order to be a successful wrestler, you gotta be yourself. And this is Jericho evolving his character, changing it up, and being himself. Quite honestly, though, I'm going to give you guys a little inside joke kind of thing. So, Chris Jericho came down here in Hawaii years ago, and Well, he's come to Hawaii more than once, but each time he comes here, we always chant Mahu at Jericho. Mainly because a lot of us think Jericho's a whiny little girl. But basically, we would call him Mahu, which translates, if you come into Hawaii, we'll tell you, Mahu means cross-dresser or faggot or gay. And Jericho turned that negative into a positive at the shows. Basically, will we be chanting Mahu, Mahu? Jericho, I'm pretty sure Jericho's smarting up to it already. Because a lot of the guys in the locker room know Islander. Have some Islander or Polynesian culture going on there. And basically, Jericho probably asked and they told him what it really means. But he played it off like how a dumb white foreigner who doesn't know anything about Hawaiian culture would do. And he would say, "What is a Mahu?" If Mahu means I am the greatest world champion and living legend of all time, then yes, I am a Mahu. That's what Jericho said at those shows. And then Rikishi at the time, I believe this was in 2001 or 2, Rikishi at the time goes like, "They just called you gay." And Jericho was like, "No!" Like, freaking out. And years later, when Jericho would come back, and this is when he had the bejeweled trunks, and they would still call him Mahu, and he did it then. I believe that time he was facing Jeff Hardy. And all of us were just laughing because Jericho's just enjoying it and just, eating it up like it actually means something great to him. It's like he's enjoying it. He's enjoying it because, for one, he knows it's heel heat, and two, he's turning it into a joke like Chris Jericho can, and it's hilarious. It's hilarious. Guys, I know a lot of people who are part of the LGBT community might not appreciate it, but for us, Islander and local folk, we thought it was hilarious and funny, and we love Chris Jericho just for that alone. He did it again when they came back in 2017 or 16, where he took on AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose. He came in there and he was eating it up. AJ came in there and go like, "Whatever, man. You're not the greatest world champion. I'm the greatest wrestler in the world," kind of deal. Ah, man, that was some of the greatest. And then, of course, Dean Ambrose, Moxley beats all three of them, and basically gets the old Hawaiian aloha leis, braving Shaka. The fans are hugging him and all that kind of shit. Basically, guys, Chris Jericho is so lovable. When you try to insult him, he turns it from a negative to a positive, and it becomes hilarious, and it becomes gold. That's why we love Chris Jericho here. Jericho is always welcome, so. And I agree. This the era of the jackets are over. But I'm going to say this, with Jericho's new get out, with his new attire and new look, I look at him and I think one thing. Oh my God! Chris Jericho has evolved into Super Mahu. Super Mahu, use Mahu face paint. It's super effective. Okay, that's just me joking about Jericho. But Jericho, you're gold. We love you here in Hawaii. Can't wait to see you again, man. Alright, next up, speaking of injuries, Apollo Crews has a new direction after his injury. So, Apollo Crews was pulled from the Money in the Bank with a storyline injury. So that's an update. But this will eventually lead to a heel turn. It appears people backstage have been trying to help Vince McMahon help convince Vince into doing more with Crews. Apollo was largely absent from WWE television before COVID-19. However, with the limited roster WWE has during this time, certain undercard wrestlers have been receiving more TV time. And Paul Heyman is a huge fan of Apollo Crews getting the most of it. And names like that include Crews, Cedric Alexander. So for all the superstars who are getting TV time, and Heyman's a fan of right now, is Apollo Crews, Cedric Alexander, Ricochet, and so on and so on. Per report source, they are turning him. He was going to turn on Chad Gable before Vince decided to move him back to Raw. Reports have added that there are plans that MVP will return as a manager for a stable. And it's unknown yet, but they're trying to decide if Crews should join. You want my honest opinion, guys? I think Apollo Crews should join. You know why? Because then you got a main event heel right there. And you're making a main event stable. You already got a guy like MVP, who's obviously a main event caliber talent, who can talk his way. If you can get Apollo Crews on the same level as MVP or even above, you have a future top heel right there. And quite honestly, I would love to see Apollo Crews get more time in. And I'm a big fan of Apollo myself, so I'm definitely hoping they do something good with this heel turn. I think it'll be great for him. Something fresh, something new, something that he hasn't done before and hasn't done in a while. So I hope this would be the best way to push Apollo. I mean, I like in the tag team of Ricochet and Cedric, but I also like the idea of what Apollo Crews has got going for him right now. Alright, next. And I just want to see Apollo, guys, get something better than what he's had. Alright, next. Speaking of black guys, Moose. No. Let's not talk about Moose. MVP. Tonight will be set to host the VIP Lounge segment. And then there's 4 matches confirmed for tonight's Raw. You got Drew McIntyre, taking on Murphy. Street Profits versus the Viking Raiders. It's a non-title match. Didn't they advertise that as a tag team championship match? Oh, crazy shit. Then we're going to have the Gauntlet for the Money in the Bank spot. And the competitors are to be announced. And then, of course, the tag team match with Ricochet and Cedric versus Shane Ford and Brandon Vink with MVP on their side. I would say this is going to be an interesting Raw. But, guys, what makes me hurt is that the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders are not competing for the titles. After they pretty much advertised it last week. Am I wrong? Didn't I report it? Shit. Alright, Stephanie McMahon teams up with Shelley Zalis. And basically, this is for a digital series for the female quotient titled Women in the Business of Sports. So, Shelley Zalis is going to be doing her digital series. And basically, Stephanie has made an announcement that she is excited to be partnering with Shelley Zalis to launch this new digital series, Women in the Business of Sports, starting this week. So, I'm guessing they're going to be doing a lot of segments with different women in sports in general. And Stephanie McMahon probably is going to be one of them guys. That's what I'm guessing. Speaking of which, Dasha Fontes, who is a former WWE superstar and now AEW broadcaster, will be competing on Season 2 of the Titan Games, this NBC show that is produced by and hosted by The Rock. So, and she went on to say, another reason why I love AEW wrestling. Thank you for all the support. Thank you all the support always. I hope I made you all proud. This should be fun, you know. And, of course, you know, a lot of people are going to say, well, that means The Rock's going to AEW. I'm going to say, people who are going to be like this, understand this. The Rock has become bigger than WWE. He's become bigger than AEW. He's become bigger than the wrestling business. But the one thing is, The Rock never forgot that he came from WWE. and the wrestling business. So he's not going to shit on the business, and I think he would be more going to WWE than AEW, to be honest. So I don't want to hear that. But good luck to Dasha, that's for sure. As far as Stephanie McMahon goes, guys, she also has revealed the awkward first steps of her and Triple H's relationship. Alright, for all of you who don't know, there's a lot of people out there who complain about Triple H and Stephanie, who complain that Triple H is only the main eventer that he is because he married Stephanie. Well, I say you should guys watch this because this is from the clip of the untold stories of Triple H and Stephanie. So, there's going to be an actual show. I'm going to be watching this. And this is what she had to say on being goofy around each other. We were goofy around each other, even just saying hello. We go to give each other a hug and it was super awkward. Tried to have a conversation and you walk away thinking, God, I sounded so stupid. Why did I say that? On how she loves Triple H more every day. Anytime I was next to him or I would just be around him, I would have this, my heart would race, and it still does. I'm actually more in love with him every single day. And we have 3 beautiful daughters, and he's an incredible father. He's my knight in shining armor. He is the man I dreamed of my entire life. Wow. I'm pretty sure during WWE Untold they're going to go over how Triple H had to face all that reaction about his relationship with Steph. If you want my honest opinion, guys, I know a lot of people won't like it, but Triple H was just as over as Rock and Mankind was in '98. In '99, he became a bigger star because he went heel. And then on top of that, he won his first 2 WWE titles before he met Stephanie. That Stephanie McMahon angle that he had with Tessa, where him and Steph first started working, and that would be during their angle with Tessa, right? As everybody will remember that fateful day. I gotta tell you this, guys. When I saw that segment for the first time, I was like, okay, so he's gonna bang the boss's daughter to become empowered. You want my honest opinion of that entire storyline? As you guys know, for most people I want people to go back and watch that. I want people to go back and watch '99. Watch from SummerSlam to that very fateful moment where Stephanie gives Triple H the sledgehammer at Armageddon. Because that moment when he and Stephanie revealed to the world that yes, they are seeing each other in storyline wise, and that they were happy to get married in storyline wise. Man, it proved Triple H to become the ultimate mega heel that he has always been in WWE. Main reason why I say that too is because, I mean, you're already beating up the boss at this time because you're basically an asshole. You're being a dick to the boss. The boss is trying to do the right thing, and then you decide to go like, oh, I'm gonna put my dick in it and I'm gonna fuck it. And basically, when he proved that he got Stephanie to turn on Vince, that proved how low Triple H would go and would ultimately become the most dirtiest and nastiest heel for the next 10 years. Of course, the Katie Vick thing showed the ultimate low of how far Hunter would go. But in general, when Hunter and Stephanie, got married the following week at the pay-per-view, Stephanie turned heel and actually embraced Triple H instead of her own father. I think it proved to the world that, yes, he is a mega heel. And that's why. And here's the thing. He was already a bad, nasty heel before this all happened. And when this happened, it solidified him. Yes, he is the nastiest freaking heel on this current day roster at that time. So, and here's the thing. That whole storyline with him and Stephanie getting married in the brothel. I mean, you want my honest opinion on that, guys? That was when Hunter said, that's where they both have said that they started dating after. Because that's when they started courting each other. So, for those of you guys who are wondering when Triple H left China for Stephanie, probably started around there because they didn't really know each other that well or even work together until that moment. So, and Stephanie has gone on record before to say, well, he was everything I despised before I started dating him, kind of deal. That's the kind of thing that Stephanie had said about Hunter before they actually started, date and then being quote unquote storyline marriage, So if you want to blame anything for why Triple H is in the main event right now and being a major star, blame that storyline. Don't blame Triple H. Fuck. And besides, he's been a fucking awesome heel. I hate the fact that people don't like Triple H, because he's done a lot of great shit. And then so going on to it. On to our next topic. Honestly, guys, I think one day I'm gonna do a video on Triple H. I feel like I gotta do a video on Triple H because I feel like if we go on, like, here's what I'm gonna say before we go on to Lio Rush. Triple H, guys, in my opinion, if people really understood his actual storyline and actual true storyline backstory of his entire character, like they do with Rick. I'll give you guys a good example. I watched Mortal Kombat's History of the Warrior on here on YouTube, and what the guy does on there, he has a very successful retelling of the story of each fighter. And maybe one of these days, if I decide to do that whole kind of series, I'll do it on Triple H because I feel like he gets shit on too fucking much, in my opinion. Sometimes it's deserved, sometimes not. And Stephanie's one of those things that it's just not deserved at all. Just people being jealous. Alright, so, Lio Rush. Lio Rush has sent out a cryptic message on his official Twitter today, stating, I legitimately might not wrestle ever again. Or might not ever wrestle again. Basically, he's stating he's contemplating and deciding that he might be done wrestling. Oh my goodness. If you guys ask me if he quits, I say best of luck to him and whatever you're doing. I wish you the best, man. I always thought Lio Rush was actually one of the better wrestlers and the better cruiserweights of the current WWE roster, and this release might not have suited well for him. Might not have gone well. It's obviously not gone well for a lot of people, but my God. If he's actually planning to get out of the business, I'm like, well, best of luck, man. I hope you do well, whatever you decide to do. As far as Lio goes, I always thought Lio was entertaining. I thought Lio was... Like, let me tell you this. They should have kept Lio and Bobby Lashley together because Lio would have been... It would have been like Empire or Power, where Lio would play the guy who's like, he's got all the plans and schemes ready to go. Bobby Lashley would carry out being the dominant. And the two of them would just be colorful together. I mean, they complemented each other very well. I don't like this whole idea with Lashley and Lana. Mainly just because, like everybody else, when it comes to Lana in general. I mean, everybody hated the idea that Rusev and Lana would be going into storylines where it's basically forcing them out of a marriage, basically, and or breaking up their relationship kind of thing. Because people know that Rusev and Lana in real life are actually happy together. And then they're doing all this kind of shit, and it's like, what kind of bullshit is this? Kind of deal. And then on top of that, they've done it so I swear. What is up with Lana breaking up with her relationships on WWE TV? My God. I mean, that's... How many fucking times does this woman gotta break up with somebody? Or how many times do we have to see Lana being treated like a slut? I mean, for real. And quite honestly, can't you guys get her over doing something else? Because the fans obviously doesn't like the idea of you making her shock TV. They like the idea of Liv Morgan, but you blew that with Liv. So that's just my that's why when Lana becomes a topic in any WWE discussion, it pisses me off that WWE would even think this would work. As far as Lana goes, I don't think she works well with Bobby Lashley at all. And in my opinion, when it comes to Lana and Rusev, for all those who are watching and have subscribed before, who knows that I've gone over this 100 times, Lana and Rusev they need to be together. It's like Sunshine and Jimmy Garvin. It's like Macho Man and Ms. Elizabeth. Fans love it, the idea of them being together. They hate the idea that you keep trying to break them up. And that's my end quote on that. And as far as Lashley goes, he went better with Rush. If you were going to get somebody for a mouthpiece, Leo's the best guy for him, That's just my honest opinion. And besides, Bobby knows how to be a tough guy. Why can't you just make him a tough guy? Alright, next, Bruce Pritchard comments on Shelton Benjamin never becoming a WWE main eventer. Oh, fuck. Don't tell me you're going to bury him. Alright, so, basically, Benjamin being one of WWE's most gifted talents ever. Absolutely, Shelton came in, was part of that Brock Lesnar class, John Cena, Batista, a lot of studs, so to speak. JR would say, God damn, blue chipper class, sassafras. And Shelton, first of all, he could do anything. To this day, he could do just about anything. Incredibly talented performer. Yeah, maybe a little bit of that it factor, but a great performer, and being given the opportunity and being able to work with someone like Jericho makes him shine that much more. Benjamin's stock at WWE at this time. Shelton's stock was high, and I think that there were a lot of people that felt Shelton could have been one of those guys. Unfortunately, for whatever reason it is, would hit a wall with Shelton sometimes. Couldn't get to that next level. On Shelton Benjamin never fulfilling his potential. Oof. I don't think that he ever fulfilled his potential. I think he could have been a much bigger star. I really and truly do. And I think that. I don't know. I don't think that the audience would accept him at this point beyond where we are. Honestly, I agree. I agree because at this point, I think Shelton has become old news in a way. Does that hurt his stock in WWE? Maybe, maybe not. Is he a reliable talent for WWE to have? Yes. Great talent. Could he be a major star? Yes. But the reason why he won't fulfill that potential of being a main eventer, in my humblest opinion, it's just the fact, one, they don't put him on TV enough. 2, when he was really over, yeah, that was in 2016. That was before the injury, and when that injury did it, it kind of derailed that. And then you put him in a tag team with Chad Gable, and then he gets lost in the shuffle. That's why I feel like he's going to have a hard time. Does that say that WWE won't have future plans for Shelton Benjamin? No. It means he will have future plans. It's just at the moment, they don't know what to do at this point, it seems. You know? Do I feel like he can still make it to being a main eventer? You want my honest opinion on that, folks? Yes. The reason why I say that is because Christian J. Raso became a main eventer after Edge retired for at least 1 or 2 more years. And the 1 year that he was the main event, he was wrestling Randy Orton for the world title. Do I believe Shelton Benjamin has that same potential? Yes, I definitely believe it. It's just a matter of what are you doing for him. So, again, creative. I hope Bruce will go to bat for him. That's in my opinion. Alright, speaking of talent, Zack Ryder has gone on record right now and it says he's got his new ring gear. He's got new theme music ready for an independent return. So, Matt Cardona, Zack Ryder, on his post-WWE plans. And he has revealed this. On immediately working on his new ring gear after he was released. I'm always ready. That's not just a catchphrase, not just a hashtag. Always ready. I started designing the new gear the second we were released. And TD Wrestling, he's our guy for the podcast. He also is the guy who has been designing our gear. Rick Michaels actually makes the gear. So yes, I have the gear design. It's on the way. It looks great. On his new theme song, I mean, let's just say that I've been listening to it already on repeat. Chelsea, as you guys know, Chelsea Green, knows all the words because I play it so loud. I love it. I will just say that the song is not complete, but it's almost there. I love it. That's all I'm going to say. It's a great entrance song, workout song. It's perfect. It's perfect for me. So, Zack Ryder's ready, guys. He's ready for his future endeavor of going to a new promotion, independent promotion, and starting to make a name for himself outside of WWE. How do I feel about this? Like I said, Zack Ryder is a huge name. He's a huge name. Hey, for all the shit he got for being on the lesser part of the card, he's still a big name within the business. Practically almost anybody in the wrestling fandom or even in the wrestling business know who Zack Ryder really is. And not as a person, but know who he is in the ring. And quite honestly, I could see a lot of indie promotions trying to capitalize on Zack Ryder. And quite honestly, I think this will help Zack get elevated into the next level. Because I feel like he did almost everything he could in WWE. But going out of WWE, I think he's going to elevate himself even further and become more of a legend than he already is. So, for those of you guys who are Zack Ryder fans, get ready. It's going to get really exciting in a little bit. And it sounds like Zack's in the zone already. So, enjoy that. Yep. You had it up? Okay. Yep. Alright, so, you guys, get ready. Zack Ryder. Matt Cardona is going to make his debut in the Indies. And for all of you indie fans out there, you should be ready and happy right now. And you know why I say that even more so for wrestling fans? It doesn't matter if you're just WWE fan, AEW fan, New Japan fan, the mainstream fan. When it comes to the independents, and when you see a big name come along the independents, it elevates the independents guys up. And then on top of that, when you're in the indies, there's more fan interaction. I mean, fans might get to see Zack Ryder in person more so now than they ever have. So this is a good thing in general. Okay, last article, and that is IWA Mid-South has revealed their plans to resume live shows with fan attendance. So, for all of you guys who want to go to a wrestling show that's going to have a crowd, IWA Mid-South is going to be resuming their live shows. And the fans are allowed to come in attendance. And as it states here, IWA Mid-South is currently planning to resume June 18th, New Albany, Indianapolis. Or Illinois, is that Illinois? New Albany, Illinois? Anyway, the event will also run on June 19th in Indianapolis. The company will also provide masks to anyone who wants to wear one. The state of India it's, oh my God, New Albany, Indiana. My bad, guys, my bad. Alright, the state of Indiana is planning to move to stage 4 of reopening their state June 14th. If that were to occur, gatherings of 250 people would be allowed. In case you missed it, IWA has sent out an announcement, and they were saying that they will return action in June. So, and basically the event page has stated, with Governor Holcomb stating that the reopen of state of Indiana come June 14th, we are happy to announce the return of their live shows. So the first set of live shows are as follows. June 18th in their new venue, and will be presenting Battle of the Sexes. Friday, June 19th, with Unfinished Business, we'll be returning to Indianapolis. So, New Albany is going to get the Battle of the Sexes show. June 19th will return, and the show is going to be called Unfinished Business. And then June 25 will be the Queen of the Death Matches in New Albany. And then also in New Albany will be June 26th, the Prince of Death Matches. Masks will be provided if you would like one. I'm going to be honest, guys. This is good. I mean, if you got a wrestling fan and you want to go to a real wrestling show for the longest time since the pandemic, this is probably the show that you want to go try and get to go to. And they're offering masks. My opinion, you should probably carry your own gloves and some hand sanitizer. Oh, and maybe take this with you too, because you don't know who is stubborn and not following the procedure. So if they happen to stand by you and cough right next to you, just go. Done deal. So that's my honest opinion for that. Yeah, so they're gonna give you a mask. Just in the meantime, maybe carry hand sanitizer. Don't go to the extreme of getting Lysol, but I would, just because I don't trust people. That's just me. That's just me, honestly. Anyway, that's all for IWA there. So you guys want to go to a wrestling show, especially in the Indiana area? IWA Mid-South is going to reopen their events and resume. All right, our last article is Moose. Moose believes he showed up Tessa Blanchard in bringing back the TNA World Title. I'm going to say it just right now. Yes, Moose, you did, and it was awesome. Because Moose, dude, I love it because, it makes perfect sense for him to bring the TNA World Title. You know why? Because he's been dealing with TNA guys for the last how many months, beating them. Hands up for that TNA reunion show that got canceled. And he's just been beating those TNA guys. And you know what? For him to be the TNA World Champion and bring the title back was just gold. And it makes perfect sense. That was storytelling done right. Especially when it was on the fly. Alright. His storyline with TNA and former TNA wrestlers. I was excited about it. I mean, at first, when I heard the news about this one night only, there's no place like home TNA show, I was very excited about it. And then when I saw guys coming in to try to take my spotlight, then the proud fool side of Moose came up and was like, okay, this was the one and only thing. I hope you guys are not trying to come in and make my home. The home that I built, the home that I've made a name for myself, the name that I made for myself, Mr. Impact Wrestling. Now I feel like you guys is just trying to come here and take that spot from me, for me. That's when I felt like I had to start putting my foot down and be in some of the old TNA talent. Being in some, but I mean, initially I was very excited about the move. And now, who knows? I mean, TNA might be here forever. I mean, all thanks to me, right? Why he thinks he's TNA champion. I'm the TNA heavyweight champion because you can see from what I did the last few months on television, I've beaten every single wrestler, every star, in my opinion, that's come for TNA. You got guys like Rhino, you got guys like RVD, you got guys like Ken Shamrock, you got guys like Hernandez. All these people that I have beaten. So to cover that, I think I declare and deserve to be the TNA heavyweight champion. And that's what I am. I totally agree. He does, because he beated all those guys. And you beat Rhino, who's a former NWA World Heavyweight Champion. You beat RVD, who's a former TNA World Champion. You beat Ken Shamrock, who is a former NWA, the first NWA TNA World Champion. And then you beat Hernandez, who was, before Hogan and Bischoff, was quote-unquote scheduled to be the future world champion of TNA. If Moose defeated all those guys, and they're all credible, fucking Rhino is a fucking war machine. RVD, you beat RVD. Rob Van Dam is the whole effing show, for crying out loud. Ken Shamrock, world's most dangerous man. Yes, he might be older now, but that doesn't mean he can't take a whooping like he used to. Hernandez is a fucking big-ass dude, agile dude for his size. You pretty much beat him. So does Moose deserve to be the TNA World Champion? You're damn right. And it says here, if other wrestlers from TNA could come back and challenge him. I mean, I look at it two ways. I mean, they could all come back. And the same thing that happened to the rest of them is going to happen to them. But I talked to Scott about this all the time, and we know that our doors is always open to some of these guys that recently just got let go from WWE, which that was really sad, by the way. But I mean, like I said, like the saying goes, one man's trash is another man's treasure, right? So, I mean, all those guys like Doc Gallows, Ken Anderson, Eric Young, I mean, those guys are welcome back to TNA. I mean, myself and our locker room and our roster would love to have them. But at the same time, the same thing happened to guys like Chase Stevens, Rhino, and everybody else. They have the same fate. I mean, they get in my way, I'm going to do the same thing I did to all those guys, and I'm going to kick their ass. Hey, guys, I'm loving Moose in this article, guys. I'm sorry. I love Moose already. Tessa Blanchard's reaction to the TNA World title. I mean, I'll be honest with Tessa. If that's the match that's going to happen, it's not going to be me pushing because I don't care about her Impact World title. Because I feel like my TNA Heavyweight Championship is the real World Championship. So, if that's the match that's going to happen, it's going to have to be her wanting what I have, not the other way around. I do think Tessa is a great opponent, and she would be a great opponent. She has done things no girl will probably ever do ever again in professional wrestling. I get it. She's awesome. She's a great wrestler. But there is a but. I don't see her Impact World title as something that I care about because I have my TNA Heavyweight Championship. So for that match to happen, it's going to be her wanting to come after my prize, what I carry, because I'm the real world champion. Maybe Tessa's just mad because after I showed up with the TNA Heavyweight Championship, she's at the point realized her title was second rate and a second class title, a mid card title, so she can have it. I give him the clap right there because, quite honestly, he made a very damn good point. He wants to make that TNA championship more relevant again, and with him being the champion. And the best way he can do it is by calling Tessa's title a second-rate mid-card title. And I agree. I mean, when you look at the TNA belt and the Impact title, which one do you rather have? I think I would take that fucking big chunk of gold that Moose has and fucking carry it around. And you know what's the worst part about that is, folks? I take that belt over the quarter belt that she has. But, you know, the one thing that's sad about it is I used to call that TNA World Championship that one that Moose carries right now. Back when Hogan and Bischoff were in charge, I used to call that belt the equivalent to the Divas Championship in WWE. And now somehow it's become more relevant again. It's put itself back where it needs to be, and that's be the equivalent of a world championship of any promotion. And it's all thanks to Moose, guys. And you know what? Maybe it's a good thing that TNA title was gone for a couple of years, because then it makes you miss it. And then when you see it compared to everything else you see out there, it makes you happy to see that belt. Do I still think the WWE title is worth more than that? Because a lot of people are looking at that WWE title and think lazy. My honest opinion is this. The WWE title is always going to be prestigious. Doesn't matter what version it is, and it doesn't matter because of all the lineage the WWE title carries. It's going to be the same thing with the IWGP World Heavyweight title. And hopefully AEW will do the same thing with that AEW Championship. And as far as Moose bringing back the TNA World Championship, when I look at that title, you know who I think of? I think of Sting. I think of Kurt Angle. I think of the Jeff Jarretts. I think of Christian Cage, Rhino, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles. Because that's where that title shined the best. So, and to see it, seeing Moose wear it, I look at it as like, well, there's your champion. There's the guy who should be the TNA World Champion if TNA was still around. And to be honest, he definitely deserves it. Do I believe Tessa deserves a shot at it? Why not? Tessa's proved that she's a good wrestler. Maybe not a good person outside in some other reports, but she's a good candidate to be number one contender. Nonetheless, you know. And what I mean by that, I don't mean the title's going to look ugly like the WWE title when I say that about the AEW title, if that's what you guys thinking. In my opinion, the WWE title looks like what it should be for now. Though I believe every title in WWE, except maybe the Intercontinental Championship and the NXT titles, all deserve an upgrade. And I think the Universal title and the WWE title should have their own designs. And I say that the same thing for the women, too. I mean, in fact, let's make that question of the day. Do you think WWE should upgrade their title designs? And do you think they should be different for each show or each title that they have instead of copycat titles? Let me know in the comments, guys. And here's another thing, too, guys. I want you guys to understand this. It's probably due to budgets. And that's why those titles probably look all the same right now. But other than that, guys, give me your opinion and thoughts on that. And also, give me your opinions on what you guys thought about today's news, such as Moose, MVP starting up his own heel faction, the injuries going on, and Apollo Crews getting a second chance, and what you guys think about Stephanie McMahon doing her digital series about sports and business with Shelley Zalis. Let me know, guys. And if you guys enjoyed the video, hit a like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and have a great day and blessed one. Thank you, and have a good one.